evening. Welcome to Tweed Up, where we take video games, music, movies, and more way too seriously. And I'm Neil. This is Zac. Today we're going to talk about the new Lana Del Rey album. Did you know there's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard?
I do now.
Released March 24th of 2023. So this is Lana Del Rey, she's been around for about a decade or so, a little more than a decade, I guess now, and been on kind of a roll since
Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, Norman Rockwell, and then Chemtrails Over the Country Club and Blue Banisters, and then her new one just came out. And I think she's definitely positioned herself as one of the most interesting and talented and definitely most talked about singer-songwriters in the United States, for sure. So let's go. What did you think?
I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves.
Okay.
I've heard people say that her music is kind of simple or self-centered, but like in terms of music, like muted and blended. What's the word I'm looking for here? Like not overly produced, simple.
Yeah, I mean, so Lana Del Rey has talked about her songwriting, and she doesn't know like a whole lot of chords.
Right.
I think that may be the criticisms that you're talking about, but I mean, I don't know a whole lot of chords either. Yeah.
The Grants is fantastic.
And that, to be honest, that's not what like making great music is about. Is knowing like lots of different chord phrasings. I mean, like
her music to me, and I said this before. It's like her voice is leading, this really beautiful dance of musical notes, like through the air and spirals and doing wonderful things. And I love that formula. I think that there's enough to it. Like maybe I'm not a complex guy. I'm not a complex guy. But yeah, piano, strings,
Yeah, so and at the beginning of this song and throughout the album, she does this sort of records things to make it seem like improvisational, or this is like our first take, like there's someone like
I have a question,
kind of directing, these vocalists at the beginning of the song, and then there's other places in the album where Lana will say, like in Margaret, when she's like, "Let's waltz this one out of here," towards the end. So there's a lot of like sort of like studio like talking, that it gives it
that vibe that they're working in the studio and making music,
which I like. I think it comes across really well.
I think she does a great job of doing it. Playing that off. The Grants is a great song. Did you know the title track?
Oh yeah, track 2 is the title track. Definitely, I think my favorite song on the album.
Second favorite for me.
It's really good.
It's super good.
Yeah. It's about this tunnel under Ocean Boulevard. So it's like this tunnel that has been walled off, like a pedestrian tunnel that is no longer used. And so like the metaphor is like, she says, "Don't forget me," like the tunnel under Ocean Boulevard, and it kind of goes in with the first song is also like, it's about memory, In the first song, she says something about like, "My pastor said, the only thing we take with us is our memories, and I'm going to take mine of you with me." That's like the chorus. And then it goes into the second song that's also about memory, but it's more about her, hoping that people remember her, essentially. And like the verses are all really cool.
She's insanely talented as a songwriter. Like, I know that, like, there's a couple of the latter part of this album maybe has a couple of little, cheap things, like maybe not the best songwriting, but what I like about her, she writes really well, way better than I can, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And she's got this, she's willing to tell you everything about how she's feeling, and like just openness and honesty that really comes through with a level of sincerity that just kind of blows my mind, really.
Yeah. I think that's what she's going for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's hitting it.
Yeah.
Good job, Lana Del Rey.
Track 3, Sweet, another really good emotional track.
Yeah.
Track 4, A&W,
my favorite.
One of the singles, and it's a really weird single, really long track, and kind of like a two-parter,
Yeah, it's got the, what's it called when you change the beat? Like, I I don't know anything about music. That's why this
Well, it transitions from like a kind of traditional, almost like ballad, you know, to a more, I guess, slightly hip hop oriented,
Yeah.
you know, or even like, I guess more like a hip hop pop,
Yeah.
yeah,
Pop, hip hop.
yeah. Towards the end,
You know what a Cocoa Puff is?
I don't.
Oh man. All right. So a Cocoa Puff is a cigarette with some Coke on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either
Okay,
until this album came out. I was like, there's got to be
you
something
looked
to
it
it.
up.
I did. I did. I looked it up.
All right, after that we have your Judah Smith interlude. So this is a pastor that is very famous.
He is very famous for
Yeah.
multiple reasons,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's kind of a weird track. Like to me, I think Lana is putting it out there as some positivity, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against necessarily the message that his sermon is delivering in it.
Yeah.
But it also has like it reminds me of the track off Godspeed You Black Emperor, the Skinny Fist album, where there's like a sort of street preacher and it has this sort of apocalyptic, like the saddest strings you ever heard,
Right.
like behind it. And like the music track behind this interlude is pretty dark.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like super happy. So
it's a mixed
I'm
message.
a little confused about the
Yeah.
messaging on that particular
Yeah.
one.
And I'm sorry, I just have to say it. You know, as Neil said, this gospel, I got nothing against it. I have nothing against organized religion, but if your organized religion tells you that you have to give a certain amount of money to get into heaven, think twice. You know, just think twice. You know. All right. So anyway, enough on that.
Then we get to candy necklaces. So I guess now we got to talk about like the features on this album, the collaborations. I think she uses the collaborations pretty well. You know, this song,
Margaret.
Yeah, so this song has John Baptiste, and his piano playing is really well. His vocalization, his singing toward the end of the track sounds really good.
No, yeah.
I really like the track after this is the John Baptiste interlude. That has a lot of this sort of like the studio talking that we were talking about that makes it seem improvisational, and maybe it is that particular track. But she also has Bleachers on the track Margaret, Tommy Genesis collaboration on Peppers. So I really think she's done a really nice job with the collaborations on this record. Sure. You know, there's not too many of them, and the ones that are on, I think, do a good job of kind of
being there for a reason.
Yeah, highlighting the talents of the collaborators.
All these, you know, you see a lot, and it's been this way for a while. But like features on every track, like okay, you know, cool. Man.
I'm not a huge fan of features in general, but I mean,
there are some cool features out there.
Yes,
you know, irreversible damage.
I know. Yes.
Yeah. All right. But yeah. All points agreed upon. The Jack Antonoff is always very welcome in my book.
Yeah, so after the John Baptiste, you got Kintsugi.
Awesome.
Excellent track.
Oh my god.
One of the better tracks on the album.
Absolutely.
Very personal, you know.
Very personal.
And this is where you start. So there are several tracks on this album, and I had these sitting up here. So this is Ultraviolence, excellent Lana album if you haven't heard it. And then I have this Leonard Cohen, The Future. There's a song on here called Anthem. And Lana directly references the lyrical content of this in several songs. Like the whole concept of, like the chorus in Anthem is, there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
And hear that a couple times.
Yeah, Lana reuses that in Kintsugi, but with different phrasing.
Yep.
And she also uses it in the another collaboration, the Father John Misty collaboration, which is another really good song.
So I've heard that this one is a one take. Like this is a legit. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm not going to dispute it. Came from an authority vastly superior to me. And I just got to say, that's freaking cool. If you do a one take that makes it onto an LP, like.
Yeah, so I have to say, like, I'm not the hugest Lana Del Rey fan. I haven't listened to everything obsessively, but I feel like she sounds really great on this album.
Agreed.
Vocally, I think she sounds better on this than she has on anything that I've listened to her on. And I've listened to, I don't know, most of her albums. If not, I think I've listened to all of her albums, at least some.
Yeah,
You know?
I have to be really careful here. I don't know that she's like the greatest singer in the world,
Right.
and I think that she knows that, and
Yeah.
she's finding really the great fit for her voice, and really using how to use it well. I would agree that her voice, Norman Rockwell. Okay, I almost did it again. Rockefeller. No, just was a great record. The songs on it, arguably still
A
maybe.
different style than
Yes.
this record.
Very
I feel
true.
like this one is much more like Blue Banisters, the previous record.
Yeah,
It's a lot of it's if you don't like slow music,
Yeah.
you're not gonna love this record.
That's true.
There you go.
That having been said, while Norman Rockwell might be easier to listen to and more fun to listen to, I think that I emotionally connect,
Yeah.
a lot better. And to me, that is like, the real indication of an amazing singer-songwriter.
Yeah, I hear you.
Kintsugi, man, like you said it, that's how the light gets in. Like, everybody gets broken, man. Everybody in their life is going to get broken at some point. You are going to get your heart broken. You are going to have your dreams broken. And that's life, and it sucks. But that is how you get stronger. And kintsugi is this Japanese tradition of filling broken porcelain pottery and repairing it to make it whole with gold, like liquid gold that they melt, and it's the glue. And I think that that's just one of the most lovely traditions in the world, and I want people to think about that, when they think of themselves. Like, yeah, you get hurt, and part of you is open, and that's how the light comes in. Because if you share that pain with others, and you're willing to communicate with your friends and tell people about the things that happen to you, they might share that with, share back, and then you're closer, and we all grow in empathy together. And so, if I'm saying this kind of rant about a song,
Right.
I mean, you don't know me, but I think you should listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great song. And like I said, she also, revisits that kind of theme in the Let the Light In is the name of the Father John Misty song. In between there, you got Fingertips, Paris, Texas, and Grandfather, Please Stand on the Shoulders of My Father While He's Deep Sea Fishing. Which is
Amazing
an excellent track,
song.
too.
It really is. It's got an insanely long title. But, man, another one you want to talk about? Here I Go Again. Lyrics that really like hit emotions. Do you mind if may I?
Go for it,
Okay,
man.
so it took somebody else to make me beautiful, wonderful, as they intended me to be, but they're wrong. Like, that speaks to my imposter syndrome. That speaks to my, never feeling like I'm good enough. And why do people love me? People love me because I'm worthy of love. I love you. And people love you too. Let people love you. And if you love somebody, love them. Lana Del Rey, thank you for making me feel safe saying this kind of stuff.
There you go.
Great record. Now, things change a little bit here in a minute.
Well, then we already talked a little bit about Margaret, which is the Bleachers collaboration, but I really like that song a lot.
Indeed.
It's got this. The chorus is really awesome, and when you know, you know.
Mhm.
And I think
You know the story of that.
Jack Antonoff sounds really good on it.
Yeah. That Margaret is Jack Antonoff's fiance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the friend that she says that she's writing the song for a friend.
Yeah.
It's about the things that Jack Antonoff has said about his fiance.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool. That nice flex, Jack Antonoff.
And then you have Fishtail, and then you have Peppers and Taco Truck XBB. So
how many times have you listened to those last three tracks?
Not very many.
Yeah.
But so towards the end of the record, you do get more, I guess, like hip hop influenced instrumental tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say they're hip hop songs, but there are hip hop influenced instrumental tracks. Mm-hmm. It's kind of I don't have a problem with it, but it's sort of a weird end to the album. I almost wish that they were a little more interspersed in the rest of the album, but they're not bad.
Yeah. The last three songs, they just kind of feel like an afterthought.
It's just weird that she puts them all at the end.
Yeah. It almost felt, I don't know. I would have been fine if the album had ended like 3 tracks earlier.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, you know, good stuff.
Yeah, overall, I think it's definitely one to keep in mind for, Grammys and for, albums of the year. I think,
Certainly be nominated, I think.
yeah, I think she's really put together a really solid and really emotionally stirring collection of songs here. So,
Absolutely.
thumbs
Highly
up
recommend.
here.
Thumbs up here.
All right. Thank you guys for watching Tweed Up, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out.